London's official Christmas station, 1031 Fresh Radio. Happy Friday afternoon. If you're a regular 9 to 5er, maybe get out a little bit early today. Wouldn't that be lovely? Scott and Kat Show is on. It's Kat Callahan in today. Scott is away, and we have a ton to get to. I want to talk about lottery wins, what it would take for you to quit your job. I don't know if you heard about one of the latest big ticket winners, $68 million. And a man from Toronto says he still plans to work his regular job. I don't know, but we'll discuss. And we'll talk about, just because it's fun to fantasize a little bit, we'll talk a little bit about what you would do if you won and what it would take for you to quit, or would you? And lots more too. I just want to say before we really get things started, thank you again to everybody who showed up to the drive-through toy drive. What an amazing success. And it's all because of our incredible support in this community. The Salvation Army, I know they are so thrilled and so thankful. You really helped to put a lot of toys under the tree this holiday season for a lot of well-deserving kids and families. So thank you again to everyone who showed up. We have lots to get to, so let's get started. It's London's official Christmas station, 1031 Fresh Radio. It is the Scott and Kat Show. Kat Callahan is here. Hello, that's me. And Scott is off for the day today. And you know how it goes. We have so many end of the year lists coming at you like crazy. But I thought, Never Have I Ever, that's a fun game. We kind of do a spinoff of it in a way on Wednesdays when we do Know the Show now and again. But BuzzFeed has a holiday-themed Never Have I Ever survey that's going around. And let's see these results here. If you want to believe it, 26% of people say they've never peeked at a present. As a kid or as an adult, never peeked. I don't think I did either, more because I was afraid of the repercussions if I did, because I do the same thing as my parents did, where I would kind of threaten to take the presents back if you ended up peeking. Isn't that what we do? My husband's mad at me right now because we have a bunch of gifts under the tree, and he thinks we should have waited until Christmas morning to put those gifts from us to the kids out. He's like, why'd you do that? Now they're going to peek for sure. But I will say they're doing such a good job not peeking. And it's tough for a kid to sit there for a month, because they've been there for a month and not be able to touch it. It is mean now that I think about it. I'll change my ways next year. 39% of people say they have never regifted anything. Baloney. 39%. I've done it. I'm one of those. I have regifted things. And you know what? I don't mind if people regift and give something to me. Because if you don't want it, there's probably stuff that I will like that you don't. It's fine. 48% say they have never forgotten to buy gifts for someone. How many people are in that boat? It's always awkward. I have spares. Every single year I do this. I've got spares, and it's very generic. I understand. Maybe it's a gift card to a local shop or a coffee place. And I do that as a backup, and I keep it with me just in case I see someone and they're like, here, Kat. And then they just do where's mine? I have it as a backup. It doesn't say their name on it. They're probably on to me, but I do that. I have forgot. I wouldn't say forgotten. It's just sometimes you don't know if people actually are going to get you something, and then they do. And you're like, oh, darn it. 68% of people say they've never gone caroling. Good. Not everybody can sing. Don't do that. 36% say this year they will do a finance-related New Year's resolution. It's finance-related at the top of the list this year over health. And some years it's like that. We know 2023 has been a rough one financially for a lot of people, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Survey, again, is done with BuzzFeed if you want to check it out. So, friends, I'm going to tell you something, but I'm going to warn you that it's not easy to hear. It's about a guy who was in need of a sneeze, but he decided he wanted to hold it in. That might be mistake number one. So I'm just going to put this out there into the world, just in case you thought about doing this exact same thing this guy did. So he had hay fever, had some allergies. He was driving his car, about to sneeze, and he just decided, no, not today. So he pinched his nose and he closed his mouth shut. Again, he was driving his car when this was going down. And apparently don't do that. When you do, the pressure in the upper airways can increase by about 20 times, which can lead to serious injuries. All kinds of different things can happen. Ruptured eardrums, aneurysms, even broken ribs. In this guy's case, he tore a hole right through his throat. The guy's in his 30s. This happened in Scotland, by the way. He was taken to Ninewells Hospital there in Dundee, Scotland. in severe pain after realizing, oh, there's a hole in my throat that wasn't there a second ago. It was a 2-millimeter tear. Nothing huge, but nonetheless, ow. It caused excruciating pain. And although a tear like that is rare, it is potentially life-threatening when stuff like that happens. So when he got to the hospital, his neck was swollen on both sides and he couldn't move his head. He told doctors what happened, said, as I was driving, I got an urge to sneeze and I didn't want to. So I held it in, I pinched my nose and I closed my mouth. And even the doctors went, oh, don't do that. Doctors could hear a faint crackling sound from inside his throat while he was being examined. And they realized something is not right in there. Thankfully, the condition he had didn't interfere with breathing, swallowing, or talking. And eventually, they actually just let him go with some pain medications and said in this particular case, they didn't need to stitch anything up, but he couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. When he went back 5 weeks later for his checkup, the tear did heal. But listen, don't do that. Don't do it. You don't want to spread germs? That's okay. But there's proper ways to sneeze. Into your sleeve is what I was always told, and that's what I stick by. Do not pinch your nose and close your mouth. Let that be a lesson. I know, it's awful.
The Scott and Kat Show. Comment and contribute anytime. Text 1-833-915-SHOW on 1031 Fresh Radio. Hey, this is Kat Callahan, and the Christmas season on 1031 Fresh Radio is in partnership with Ronald McDonald House, Southwestern Ontario. Give the gift of Christmas. You can donate $20 right now. Text HOUSE to 45678.
Hey friends, it's the Scott and Kat Show. Kat Callahan in. Scott is off for the day today, but we kind of knew this announcement was coming. In case you missed it, I'll give you a quick recap because I do realize not everybody pays full attention to it. The Ontario government did announce sales of beer, wine, cider, and ready-to-drink cocktails are going to be allowed in convenience stores and all grocery stores, actually, in Ontario by 2026. So sure, still a ways off. It will make it easier, but perhaps, this is the interesting part, perhaps cheaper, they say, to pick up some wine especially. In addition to opening up convenience stores, the Ontario government announced that they're going to introduce legislation to eliminate the 6.1% basic wine tax at on-site winery retail stores. And I know those people who own those wineries are happy about that because they can drop their prices a little bit, maybe make it easier for people to pick up those bottles when they visit. So that's good news there, I think, right? I mean, gosh, you could text us anytime at 1-833-915-SHOW. Tell us what you think. They also say that once it goes through, it will put us on equal footing with other provinces like BC. And all the news, of course, comes 8 years after the premier first promised the expansion and just in time for the next provincial election. Oh, good timing, Dougie. He always has the best timing. Listen, we do still have questions. I understand not everybody yet loved all of the news that came down yesterday, but there's a lot of people who look forward to the convenience of it. Here's a little bit of what Doug said yesterday.
You know, you can't have all of Canada, all the U.S., the entire world being able to go into a big box store, a retailer, and pick up a case of beer or a bottle of wine. We got to treat our people of Ontario like adults, and that's what we're doing. They have a responsibility to drink responsibly. Don't drive. Take an Uber. Take a taxi. But that's what we're doing. We're actually treating people like adults, and I have all the confidence in the world in the people in Ontario that they're going to be responsible.
Look at you, adult. You're responsible enough to handle it. If you do want a full recap, you can head to Global News. They've got several great articles about this yesterday, so you can get up to speed on the plan. The plan's going to take effect for not until 2026, but there you have it. It's all online if you want to check it out. London's official Christmas station is 1031 Fresh Radio. It's a Scott and Kat Show. Thanks for having it on. Sven's Snowy Surprise starts on Monday. I don't know if you heard the big news, but our mountain climber Sven is back to help shovel snow after a massive storm. And your chance to win starts on Monday. 7:20 exactly is your chance to win. Caller 10 will play Sven's Snowy Surprise for the very first time on Monday. So here's how it works. You're going to hear that cue to call in. You call in. If you're caller 10, you have to tell Fresh Mornings when to have Sven stop shoveling in order for your prize to appear. Now, regardless of how much he shovels, you're going to be rewarded with amazing prizes, and just in time for Christmas, which is pretty cool. If you want to see more info, 1031freshradio.ca is the place to go. Lots more to come on the show. 1031 Fresh Radio. I don't know if you guys heard about this guy that won the $68 million jackpot recently for 649. He's from Toronto. And he says with a $68 million win, he plans to be the same person and he plans to continue to work. Okay. His name is Noel Patricio. He won this record-breaking gold ball jackpot. It's the September 27th draw. It's the largest jackpot in Lotto 649 history. And yes, again, he says he plans to continue to keep working. He's in the field of housekeeping. That's all I know. But he admits he might just do, and I quote, a little less. Do you buy that, Octavia?
No. No.
68 million. I'm not talking 6 million. I'm talking $68 million. I have this conversation with our boss from time to time. We've brought it up on the podcast before. Like, how much money would be enough for you to quit your job? And I tell him, he doesn't believe me at all, but I tell him, like, I'll still work. I'll just figure out, like, I might be on a different schedule, but I'm still going to work. He still calls baloney on me. But it's true that money will change you a little bit. But Noel doesn't want to think so. And I love his attitude going into it, but it might change. I'm going to read a little more on what he said here. And this is according to OLG. He says, I love the work I do and the people I work with. And that makes my 2 jobs, he has 2 jobs and he plans to keep them, so meaningful to me. I want to be the same Noel. He says he also does plan to do some things with the money, though. It's not like he's going to let it sit there. He's going to renovate his current home. Not move, just renovate his current home. And take his sisters on vacation to Italy. Okay, that's very nice. He's also a big sports fan, which is cool. So he loves tennis. He wants to travel to see Rafael Nadal play live. That's a good goal. And he also wants to get season tickets for the Toronto Raptors. He realizes for that money, he'll probably be like best friends with the Toronto Raptors, right?
I would think.
He says, I will make more time for myself and work a little bit less, but still keep my job. Great article, by the way, on Global, if you want to see this. They had a great interview with Noel, if you want to check it out. I don't buy a lot of what he's saying, but I understand where he's coming from. He doesn't want to change, but $68 million, I feel like you'd have no choice but to change a little bit, no?
I think so. I think things would change. Relationships would change.
It's the relationship thing too, right? Because everyone's going to be doing what? Having their hand out.
Well, if I worked with Noel and I found out he won that money and he's coming into work, he better not complain about anything. I don't want to hear it.
Could you imagine? He's like, oh, who's on the toilets? Octavia, you. We're like, oh, no, no, stop it. Yeah, that's what he says, though. And by all means, if you want to text us and let us know that number for you to quit, because maybe you're one of those people that think, like myself, I feel like I'd still do something. I just don't know how much of it I would do. But what's the price point for you to quit? Or would you still work? 1-833-915-SHOW. All of that aside, though, a big congratulations to our new best friend, Noel, from Toronto, who won that record-breaking $68 million. We'll be right back on the Scott and Kat Show. Great text messages coming in on what we were just talking about. In case you're just listening, first of all, hello, how you doing? Scott and Kat Show is on. It's Kat here and Octavia. We're talking about this Toronto man. In case you missed this news, Toronto man came forward. He's the one that won the $68 million, record-breaking, by the way, $68 million, 649 jackpot, September 27th. Remember that draw? Everyone was wondering, where's the ticket from? Toronto. His name's Noel. And Noel has our attention because he says at $68 million, he still wants to work. He says, I love the work I do and the people I work with, and that makes my 2 jobs so meaningful to me. I want to be the same Noel. I don't think that that's a popular opinion for most people if they got the chance to win or if they did win $68 million. And so we asked you your feelings on that. Would you maybe still work? What would you do? Is there a cutoff point for you? How many millions would you need? And we got a lot of great texts in.
Yeah, and somebody texted in, money goes fast in today's economy, but $70 million is plenty to retire and give back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Steven texted, I wouldn't work. Hell no. But I would definitely have some sort of hobby, and I think it would have a decent amount. Even if it was just $1 million, he'd still be working. I don't think $1 million would last long enough today.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Stephen. If it was $1 million, I think most people, depending on your age, of course, maybe you're near retirement anyway, so you're like, okay, that seals the deal. But for most people, $1 million, yeah, it doesn't go very far.
Yeah, for me, $1 million, that'd be a house.
Oh, yeah,
so
you're way too young. Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Alyssa says, if I won that much money, I would still work, but not for someone else. I would start up a small business, and that's always been a dream of mine, and see where it takes me.
I love that. Imagine you took that like several millions and turned it into like $1 billion business. That's pretty cool. Or just to do something you like is cool too.
I'm 38 years old. Retiring at this age would be the dream come true for sure. Tanya from Brantford says 70 million and I'm not working. I would be involved as a volunteer still with the school I work with. I work in a core school, and I definitely donate some money and time for things for my school, staff, and students throughout the year.
That's nice. That's a nice thought, too. It's like even if you aren't going to work necessarily, you can still volunteer time.
Somebody else says, so I would continue to work. Doesn't matter what amount of money it is. Simply for the reason that having money does not make happiness, and money can be lonely at times. Now that I know that, but I love my job, I love the people I work with, and I wouldn't want to give that up for any sort of money.
That's a nice thought. And like I was on the same page as that. But keep in mind, with that much money, you'll start to do different things. Your life will likely change a little bit. You'll start to travel a little more maybe. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm out of time. I can't take any more vacation days. There's going to be things that come into play with that. But I do like the thought of, it's a nice thought that you love what you do. I'm in the same boat. I really am. Thank you so much for your text messages. Hopefully we all win the lottery. Wouldn't that be nice? 1-833-915-SHOW is our number. You can text the show anytime. I want to introduce you to this Guelph man who made a mistake. And listen, this is a mistake that we all could make and potentially have made. I personally have. I've done it. I've accidentally called 911. This was when I had that setting on where if you hit the two buttons at the same time, it automatically started to call. I did the right thing, by the way. I stayed on the line. I was in my car. I put the phone in the cup holder, and apparently that happens a lot. The dispatcher was very, very sweet to me and just said, no problem. Not even the first one today. Thanks for letting us know. So always do that, by the way. If you accidentally call 911, stay on the line and let them know it was an accident. Please, 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 because then they have to do so much work to try to find you and figure out what's going on. So this 48-year-old Guelph man did that. It was a butt dial or something. And it was about 12:10 in the morning on Thursday. So police, as they do, received this 911 call. And he said it was a mistake. And he also identified himself. So he did the right thing there. That part, good job. Let them know. But here's the thing. Upon hearing of his name and getting his identification through their system, the Guelph police realized that the phone's owner was wanted by police for failing to attend court on assault and some other various charges. Cops did end up showing up to his location, and he was arrested on that outstanding warrant. And now he faces a further charge of failing to appear. I love stories like this. It makes the job so much easier for police. Watch it while butt dialing, okay? But like I said, stay on the line. I'm sure that you're not wanted by anyone, so it should be just fine.
Scott and Kat, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
You ever gone to somebody's house and they've got a weird set of rules for being in their home?
I have.
People are sharing theirs, and some of these are bizarre. This person says, when we were kids, if we ever slammed a door, my dad made us kiss the door to make it feel better.
What? That'd be a weird look.
You imagine if you're just over visiting and you slam a door by mistake? Go kiss the door. I'm serious. Go give the door a kiss.
Say you're sorry. Little tongue doesn't hurt.
Scott and Kat, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
Hey friends, it's the Scott and Kat show. Bringing in our producer Octavia for this one because Scott's away. But this works out okay for this particular part of the show because I'm going to talk about movies, and he's not a big movie guy. He doesn't watch a lot of them, falls asleep during them. So I'm interested to hear how you feel about some of the movies that are coming out in 2024. It's Fandango that came out with this list of the most anticipated movies of next year. And this is like over 10,000 people, I think, that were surveyed. So here is the list when it comes to the actual movies that we're looking forward to the most. And there's a lot of movies coming out next year that I kind of forgot are coming out next year. Number one, though, is Deadpool 3.
Okay.
So because Hugh Jackman was added in the mix there, that's one of the reasons. But the other reason is probably the rumor so far, nothing's official, that Taylor Swift is also going to be in it.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that both of those pieces of that puzzle make it number one. And also, yeah, Deadpool movies are great. They're really good.
I don't know.
Not a fan?
I tried. I haven't finished even the first one.
What?
I'm just
Really?
not a Ryan Reynolds fan. Don't
Did you
hate me
hear
for that.
Did you just... What? Are you... That's fine. That's fine. Really? You don't find him funny? Is that why? Like, you just don't find his comedy funny?
Not really. I
Okay.
just find he's just pointing things out. Yeah, I see that. I'm
He's
watching.
pointing things out.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. You've seen Beetlejuice, right?
Yes.
I know it was out like probably long before your time. But Beetlejuice 2 is coming out next year as well. And it looks really good. And we know that the main thing for me is that Michael Keaton was back in it, and he is. And Winona Ryder is in it. And they've added Jenna Ortega, which I think is going to be fabulous. And Catherine O'Hara is in it, which is great too. So Beetlejuice 2 is number 2 on the list. Number 3, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I really liked the newer Ghostbuster that they came out with. I actually didn't see it until recently. That's the one with like Paul Rudd added in the mix. It's very good, so I'm not surprised people are looking forward to it. Dune is one I didn't watch. Did you see Dune?
No, I haven't seen that.
Dune Part 2 is coming out next year, and people are looking forward to that. That's at number 4. Venom 3 is at number 5. And I have nothing to say on that because I didn't see the first
those.
2, and I
I'd be open to it.
No
Maybe I
way.
should catch up. I don't know.
A couple ones for the kids and families or people who just like these kinds of movies, but Despicable Me 4 and Inside Out 2 are at spots 6 and 7. Those are cute movies. Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. I don't watch it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is an animated Lord of the Rings, but whatever. It's top 10, so I'm not going to hate on it. I'm sure you guys will all go see it that like Lord of the Rings and stuff. Gladiator 2 is at number 9, and I'm looking forward to that one too. And A Quiet Place Day 1 at number 10. And A Quiet Place done really, really well. I'm going to do a special mention there for If, because the trailer just came out for If, and it's super cute. It's also a John Krasinski film, and it's a part animation, part live action. Looks really adorable, but it did not make the top 10. Most anticipated new performances include Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in Joker. Folie à Deux comes out. Jenna Ortega for Beetlejuice 2. Ariana Grande as Glinda for Wicked Part 1. Chris Pratt for Garfield in the new Garfield movie.
People aren't happy with that one, though.
But because, come on, can we just talk about like why is Chris Pratt in everything? Can we just
Yeah.
talk about that for a second? Why is he Mario and Garfield?
Well, and it's still just him. It's just his voice. Like, for Mario, that's fine. But to do another movie just, like, as Chris Pratt?
I don't know, man. I think Chris Pratt has secrets or something. Like, not to say he's not talented, and I actually like him, but I don't know, man. Something's up with that. Pedro Pascal for Gladiator 2 as well. Most anticipated villains includes also Lady Gaga. Joaquin Phoenix is in there for Joker as well. Austin Butler, who's going to be in Dune Part 2 this time around. So lots of great movies to come. I think 2024 is going to be another big one for movies. I don't know if it'll do as well as like the Barbies and the Oppenheimers of 2023, though.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough to beat.
I guess we will all find out together. There you go. That list, like I said, is from Fandango if you want to check it out. It's a Scott and Kat show. We'll be right back. What's going on, guys? It's the Scott and Kat show. It is Kat and Octavia here, and we were just talking about the highly anticipated movies for 2024. And as I look ahead, it looks like we're going to have a good year for movies. And this is Fandango's list, all right, for their most anticipated. And it was based on a survey with lots of people. Deadpool 3 was number 1, Beetlejuice 2, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, then Dune Part 2, Venom 3, Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, a Lord of the Rings animated film that I didn't even know was happening, Gladiator 2, and then A Quiet Place Day 1. So there's your top 10 for 2024. And in there, with that, Octavia admitted that she doesn't really like Ryan Reynolds. I know. Texter, though, was with you, Octavia. Texter here at 1-833-915-SHOW says, OMG, I thought I was the only one. So overrated, that Ryan Reynolds.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Would you say he's overrated? Or just
would
not
say-
funny to you?
Maybe a little of both.
Little of both.
I
Okay, fair
have
enough.
I saw the Christmas one, his Christmas movie. I thought that was good with Will Ferrell.
Yes.
That one was good, but
Yes.
the Deadpool ones, I'm
Okay.
just not in it.
Well, he's never going to come to the studio. Thanks for that, Octavia. Now, if he was ever going to, he's not going to now. Other texts that come in. No love for Madame Web. No, apparently not. And someone else says they're looking forward to Kung Fu Panda 4. And that is coming out next year, too. Thanks for your text messages, guys. As always, 1-833-915-SHOW. It's a Scott and Kat show. Scott's away. And it's the weekend. The weekend is almost here, guys. Hang in there. The weekend is upon us. If you're still working right now, don't worry about it. It's almost here. Octavia's in with me, our producer on the Scott and Kat show. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to a concert tomorrow. Concerts are like my second home.
Concerts are, you are a concert person. So who are you going to see tomorrow?
The Glorious Sons.
And you're a fan of this band, I assume.
I am, yes.
I have heard of them. Okay, very good. Is it like an intimate dealio or is this a big event? Or
It's not like huge or anything,
Okay.
so it'll be good.
Okay. Okay, very good. Tomorrow's the big day for me, hosting my Christmas party with my mom's side of the family, but it's everybody, like aunts, uncles, cousins, their kids, the whole 9 yards. So I have to clean. Listen to me, I have to clean, I guess. I'm looking forward to it, though. It should be a lot of fun. And then Sunday, I'm going to go see the Cirque show in Hamilton.
Have you ever been to one before?
So I've been to Cirque shows before. Yes, I am a big Cirque fan. Usually when I go to Vegas, that's when I see them. But I love when they make the rounds here, whether they're in Toronto or in this case, they're coming to Hamilton. It's a very short-lived, but I believe they still have tickets. It's the Cirque du Soleil Crystal show. So
I've
I'm
never
looking forward
seen
to
any
that.
of the shows.
You've
so
never been to a Cirque? Oh, I would highly recommend it. It's so
Yeah?
much fun. I think it was Cabinet of Curiosities when I went to see that when it was in Toronto. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. We were all kind of mesmerized by what was happening on the stage. But what we didn't realize was, until a moment came when we went, what's happening up there? Is they were mimicking and mirroring the exact same thing happening on the stage, upside down on the ceiling. These people are maniacs. I hope they get paid really well because they are absolute maniacs.
That sounds insane, and it would make me really nervous, but you can't look away.
You can't look away, I'm telling you. And don't worry, they do serve cocktails too, so you can like help the anxiety a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people are doing Christmassy things this weekend, or maybe just staying in and watching movies or whatever it is for you. Hope you have a great one.
Hey, this is Scott Fox, and the Christmas season on 103.1 Fresh Radio is in partnership with Ronald McDonald House, Southwestern Ontario, keeping families close over the holiday season and all year long.
It's Christmas time!
And just like that, Friday evening is upon us. Happy Friday, friends. Thanks so much for listening to the Scott and Kat Show on 103.1 Fresh Radio, London's official Christmas station. We are still buzzing around here from yesterday's drive-through toy drive at the London, Delta London Armories. Incredible support. And if you haven't seen the video, I think some are still active on our Instagram account if you want to see it and just see how many people showed up to help support our community. We appreciate it. The Salvation Army appreciates it. Thanks again to Cake Criminal Defense for being a part of that. And if you still want to help out, there's lots of ways to do so. 1031freshradio.ca. I'm out of here, but I'll be back with you on Monday afternoon. We'll talk a bit about whatever transpires over the weekend. A reminder to you, there is some new stuff happening, including Wonka being in theaters. If you want to go check out a movie, I know the weather's pretty nice, so I don't know if you want to stay in and watch a movie, but I think it'll do well. You also have a new SNL tomorrow night. Kate McKinnon's going to host, and I look forward to seeing what she ends up doing, what iconic characters she brings back. Billie Eilish is going to be the musical guest too, and that's on Global. So we're going to talk about anything that happens over the weekend coming up on Monday's show. In the meantime, though, be safe. If you're going to go do some Christmas party things, have fun doing that, and we'll catch you on Monday on London's official Christmas station, 1031 Fresh Radio.